Hello! I also do violence very good.
Violence is my favorite.
I will be honest. I was a bag.
I'm not a giant guy. I'm 6 foot tall.
He's handsome and 6 foot tall. Oh.
Great. It's cool that you're alone. Go live in the fucking woods then on a boat in a lake where people don't exist. Like, that's not healthy.
First off, look who is here. What? We got our boy.
You hate me.
The Nikko Ortiz is here. The Nikko. We're getting joined. I'm so fucking stoked for today, buddy. Like we haven't got to talk in a long time. We've already been talking for 2 hours just about analytics and numbers. And business.
We're like, we should have fucking started recording this like when we walked in the door. Like this. yeah. We got lost with combo and we're like, fuck, we're not even rolling. Oh, okay, hold on. Look, sit down. Let's start. What's up, man? Not much, just chilling.
Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Nikko.
No, you got to say that. You got to say hi to me too.
Okay, say hi to Eli. I love you.
I love you.
I love you the most.
Missed you so much.
I missed you so much.
It just cuts to me crying.
I've been telling people right off the bat. I thought, because like, you know, doing plenty of things that we've chatted before, like I just like to do like funny little stupid things all the time. And I thought it was the funniest thing ever when we were talking like in July and you were like, dude, yeah, we miss, like everyone's great. You know, Brandon, Cody, like everyone. They're like, oh yeah, dude, like, you know, we miss you. We love you. Love to see you out in Texas. And then Eli just randomly like, yeah, dude, you got to come out here. And I went, it'd be so funny if I don't say anything to anybody and then in like 6 weeks live in Texas. And now I live here as of 10 days ago.
So to go off of what he just said, it was, hey, I'm in Texas. Can I drop my car off? I'm like, what? Yeah, I'm buying a place. We're looking right now. Huh? What? Yeah, you can. Yeah, park your car in where? The garage? Yeah, it's yours here. Oh, Nikko is buying a house. Everyone. What? The guys didn't even know. Like Nick.
I mean, I don't tell anybody. I believe moving silently is like the best thing you could do too. So it's just like, I mean, you know, who cares, you know? So I was like, I'll just move there and then, hey guys.
Dude, Fat Electrician last week, I was like, oh yeah, I'll see if Nikko can come hang out. And he's like, what? Wait, does he live here now? I'm like, yeah. He's like, what the fuck?
Dude, you know what is so funny about that is that day I just checked in with Nick. I try and check in with everybody. So I was like, hey dude, how's fam? How's everything going? And then, you know, we talked for like, you know, just text back and forth for like an hour. And then 3 hours goes by and I get a random text when you invited me out to dinner. And then he's like, you live in San Antonio? And I was like, yeah, I just moved out here 8 days ago or like, you know, whatever, like 4 days ago.
Oh man, this is Nikko. Nikko, we met a few years back during a veteran stream. So just some lore on how we met for everyone out there. It was the yearly veteran streams I would do and put together. I watched your content on, I didn't know you did anything outside the Twitch. I just seen a veteran Twitch stream. I think somebody recommended you and I was like, oh shit, this person gets decent numbers. Okay, fuck. I'll just reach out to them and see if they want to partake in this. Fast forward, I DM you and then we have a quick back and forth, but you won't give me your real number. I was like, who the fuck does this dude think he is? I was so confused.
He's like, yeah, shoot me your number. And I'm like,
no, dog. No. I was like, what is he doing? And then you actually did. You're like, actually, here, you can have my number.
It took me a second to think about, and I was like, this is a really nice like guy. And then I do a back end, and then it's like, okay, he's a vet too, like, you know, and he's doing his own thing. And I'm like, okay, here's my number. It's a pretty big rule of thumb, and I think it's smart. Like, until you have a friendship, like, why should anybody, you don't have to be in the social media space or anything. Why should anybody have your phone number?
No, and it makes complete sense, especially when we're on the call and I was like, oh, so you just do the streaming? You're like, no, what? No, I do TikTok, YouTube. I was like, what? And I looked, homeboy had like 3 million on TikTok. I was like, oh, this makes way more sense.
He's not a complete piece of shit.
Yeah, why you did not? I was like, man, this dude's, what? Oh, oh yeah, you're fucking massive on this platform. Oh yeah, 100% got it. And then you flew down,
me up.
dude. No, at that time I was like, holy shit, he's killing it. And then you and Batty are the only individuals that beat me at how much money was raised. And I was beating you at first, then you stayed up all night, and then your chat was paying for you.
You said something about my chat, and you
yeah,
said that was rookie
shit.
numbers.
Yeah.
And I hate talking about money. I don't like it. But then you said that, and I was like, he doesn't know my audience like at all. And I was like, okay, we might not be first, guys, but we're being like top 3. Like that's done deal. And we had like really big people there. Everyone's the best, and like that. And I was like, I think I might ask my audience for something today. And like, yeah, by the end of the day, yeah,
you guys
just barely passed you up, very barely,
dude. Which is fucking because we always race, but to raise $250,000 in a day, like for veteran nonprofits, do pretty decent. And it was just the shit talking, and then the drinking, and then watching your audience just pop off. I was like, oh, whoa, okay, I talk shit to the wrong. It's like just dumping money.
They got offended too, and I was like, oh wait, fuck, are they like? No, I was like, guys, they're all amazing. Like these guys are so cool. But then obviously, like everyone was super jazzed up because I was out there doing like my solo dolo thing, and then all of a sudden, you know, only thanks to you getting to, you know, kind of meet those dudes and like, you know, be in the same room as them. Like my audience loved that. They're like, you know, if I like donate like 10 here, like whatever, like Nico's sitting next to Brandon Herrera. What is that donut operator behind him? And like, what the hell, Matt Best? And it's just like, okay, they're jazzed up. Like, let's go.
That's like all the communities coming together to raise money for an awesome cause.
Yeah.
And then all of us in one location just getting drunk, being
retarded.
Oh, dude, straight retarded.
I'm retarded.
Dude, I was like, oh, this is how live stream should be.
Yeah.
Just everyone feeding off of each other.
We needed like a reality TV show crew for that.
Oh,
like
dude.
that would have been insane. It would have been like clipped crazy.
So good.
Everyone would have been in so much trouble. But you know, good times.
So you've been doing YouTube at that point for a couple of years, but before
At that point, 6 months.
6 months, which is wild. The level of refining and, again, deep diving analytics, because people, if you don't know this, he does more analytics than probably me even, which is amazing. And our first time talking, I was like, oh, this guy gets it. This is why he's so successful already, is because he understood every aspect that needed to be done in order to really pop off on the internet space.
Just do, at the end of the day, man, just doing what you can. And like one thing I definitely understood was like the numbers game, ones and zeros. I was like, it's very easy. The only reason I started social media is quite literally because of COVID. Like 2020, at the end of 2020 is when I didn't even have a TikTok account. I made it at the end of like 2020, and I saw the statistics on like an Instagram post that's like, hey, like, oh, you know, since COVID, like these things have happened. And it was like, you know, this percentage of people is on like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, watching TV all day long now. And everyone started, no one could leave their house. And it's like, it increased over 20 like percent, like, you know, like 10 to 20%. And I was like, technically, anybody with numbers like that, technically, anybody who started posting content even from nothing, you would gain an audience. You would gain like a quite literal following. And I was sitting at a wine bar with my buddies in Brentwood, California, and I was like, Mario, dude, I was like, I'm gonna post this and be famous, dude, on God. And then we went to that same wine bar 2 weeks later, like a month later, and I had my first like 10,000 followers. And I was like, yeah, but it wasn't until like the veteran community when I started doing like with the branches stuff.
Genius.
It realized like it wasn't about money or like growing or anything like that. Like it was like, oh, it's just like a whatever thing. But then it was like, hey, like this makes me like, you know, it helps me relate and know that, you know, like the funny shit and how I am, which is a rejected thing by society, how we act is okay. And it allowed people to like, and I tried to like make it like dumb it down, man. Like nobody understands like Roger Delta Alpha 1. It's like, no, like talk like a normal person, but make it relatable. And then now I've got like families telling me that they love my like just vulgar, terrible content. And I think I may have already told this story, but the thing that really kicked this off for me to actually try and then get into the numbers was I met a veteran who was at the VA in California, and I was going because I was like severely depressed and I was having a lot of head issues. And this old Marine dude was like, and I had only posted like 3 videos on like TikTok, and they had like maybe like 5,000 views each. To me on Instagram, I had like maybe like 50 likes a post. So to me, I was like, that's crazy, but whatever.
You remember those numbers when you're in 1,000. You're like, holy shit, I got 1,000 views. That's a lot, especially when you're just getting into it. That is a metric shit ton. You'll always remember your first 1,000 views, 10,000 views, and then when you hit 1,000 likes, 10,000 likes, you remember it.
You're just like, what is going on, you know? And like I didn't live a poor life or like terrible life or anything like that at the time, but I was like, whoa, this is like really cool. And I'm like kind of getting out of my shell and I'm doing something, but it was whatever at the time. Yeah. And then this Marine vet, we're both just sitting there waiting. He looks at me, he's like, you on Facebook? And I was like, he's fucking a crazy guy. He's a crazy person. Yes, sir, I have a Facebook. And he's like, I knew it. He's like, man, I love those videos. And I was like, oh, someone must have just like reposted one of my skits. And when he said, man, he's like, I love it. He's like, I don't normally talk to my son or my wife about anything, but like they thought it was really funny. And I felt like in a long, like not in a long time, just from like those few videos or that one, I think he only saw one video. He's like, I felt like I was able to connect and talk to him. And he's like, I thought it was really cool when my son started asking me questions about me in the military. He's like, you know, and he's like, it's cool. We don't feel alone. I appreciate that. And like when he said alone, like that struck me in my core. And I was like, I'm going to go home and make like 10 to 100 videos right now. Cause I was like, I can actually help somebody who can't, you like, we've all been there. Like no one can help you. And I was like, I actually have I was like, I have purpose again. Cause like everyone knows, leaving the military, like the whole thing is purpose driven. Right. And I was like, I think I have purpose again, and I want to pursue this. And then I got into the numbers. That's my long tangent.
It's that getting out, and then a lot of people struggle. I am out, and this is military or different aspects of life. I am alone. I don't have purpose. So I don't have purpose. I don't have a mission. And then finding that. But I've never heard that story. So you relating it back to a dude at the VA, crusty old vet that does feel alone.
Crusty old Marine.
Yeah.
Semper Pi.
Semper Pi, man. Semper Pi, brother.
Crusty Marine. He got his little Marine hat on. And I was like, yeah, he's a crazy guy.
And that is how they can relate to their family, because I don't know how to talk to them. I don't know any of this. But, oh, look, this video. And when I met you, that's one of those things I said. It's like, this is how we bridge that gap to that younger military audience, because I don't know how to talk to them, but Nikko understands TikTok. And look at this skits. I did it in this sphere of how we used to do veteran style or military style content, and it worked. But then you got to watch those content creators just fall. They faded away, and there wasn't that new wave of TikTok veteran military space. And then you controlled that fucking space. You
at
came
the
in.
time that was mine. Like
dude.
At the time that was it. And then as time went on, I realized I'm like, okay, well, like, you know, if I want to make this, like, if I want to go full time and quit my job, which was my dream job at the time, I was like, if I want to quit my job, then I need to like start making money. But then I just went back into the numbers, and I'm like, long story short, the military themselves, like that's 1%. So my audience is 1%. So then I had to start kind of getting away from the military stuff, and like, you know, then I started doing reactions and everything started growing, and then it really took off. But yeah.
But you still understood that space better than anyone. And this is, again, I will stand on this. This is the dude I talk to all the old crusty social media vets, myself included, and that's like, man, this guy has this new wave of content down. Because I did not. Sav showed me TikTok. You showed me TikTok. I did not understand that shit at all. But it was awesome to see. And then seeing you had just as loyal of an audience through that live stream. Like,
Can't
dude, they
do it
show
without
up.
community, dude. Like, it's literally the same thing. And that's why I think that's why I genuinely enjoy this space, and why I am now not money oriented, but audience and community oriented, is like, I will forever miss my time on like active duty. And the only thing that matters when you're at that point in your life is team.
Yeah.
It's literally just team. Nothing else matters. And I was like, that's how it is now. And I'm like, you know, all that matters is my audience. And that's why, like, even now I'm starting to bring like my content back. Cause I had a lot of like mental issues again, like within the last prior year. And like, once again, shout out, you know who I actually do want to give a little bit of a shout out to?
Whom?
Angry Cops.
Mr. Rich? Oh, God. This Ghostbed mattress is cool, comfortable, and amazing. And when you pair it with one of their amazing pillows, it's better than doing the deed. She heard that. And another thing, the bed can't leave you. Oh. Well, looks like I'll be sleeping alone. But at least I'll be sleeping cool and comfortable with their new technology. And they're built to last. High quality, durable material, backed with a 20 to 25 year warranty. That's gonna last longer than my marriage. And they have 60,000 5-star reviews. I sleep on a ghost bed, I swear by it, and I couldn't go back, even for her. Right now, prices are already lower, but you'll get an extra 10% off if you use code Eli at checkout. That's ghostbed.com/Eli. Use code Eli. Sleep better and stay cooler. I miss her, but I can sleep like an angel.
Yeah, no, it actually is super big deal. When I was living in a lot, sorry, I know we're jumping all over.
No,
the place
I love it. This is us.
No,
this is how this is always.
no. So shout out to Angry Cops. You and him are probably one of the only, dude, maybe like only 5 friends have ever come out to my house in Las Vegas. Very, very lonely, very by myself. And I took him to dinner at this place across in the community I lived in Las Vegas. And there's like this little lake. And I was like, yeah, let's go eat there on the water. And I'll take you guys to dinner. Cause with Jack as well. Yep. And we were talking and and he's just like, you know, we're casual chatting. He's like, so like, who's like your support group, or like, who do you talk to? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, like, you know, like, who do you hang out with? Who do you get to see? And I was like, honestly, dude, I'm very lonely. I'm very alone. And I was back in that spot again, even after all of this growth, and I was making really great money again. Like, it didn't even fucking matter because I was so unhappy and lonely. But at the end of the day, guys, no one cares. So you just show face, you keep going, and you just bang out content that makes other people happy. But he said, well, I don't remember exactly what word he's like. I don't think that's exactly healthy, man. Like, you should definitely find some people that you can like talk to and stuff like that.
Because we'll justify it in our head. Because I'm the same way. You justify, it's like, oh, it's healthy to be alone and to isolate yourself. Yeah. Oh, I'm not alone. I'm comfortable here, so I don't need to go hang out. I'm fine. There's
a difference though.
And you need community. Everyone needs community. You need that camaraderie. Mm-hmm. And I'm probably the same way, where I can isolate myself and stay home. Because I'm like, oh, I got my girl.
We're so offline, off the internet. If you guys genuinely knew us in like our personal lives, I'm pretty sure everyone's are like, Nikko and Eli are kind of like the same.
Fade away, and then it's quiet. And I'm happy now.
Yeah. This is nice.
This is my stress. Oh, I don't want to text. Oh, there's too many texts. I just want to.
Let's just sit in silence.
Dude, and 100%
awkward silence, and I'm so happy.
Oh, dude. It's the best feeling in the fucking world. You're like, oh, but it is unhealthy. Like,
extremely unhealthy. Well, there's I feel like, just a quick disclaimer, there's a sense of like, you know, growing on your own and being alone is good.
There's health. Yes.
Yeah, there's a healthy aspect to it. And there's a touch of loneliness in being alone, stoic, and like, you know, being there for yourself. Because like, the reality is, guys, not everybody is going to be there for you on your journey. And that is a part of life and like growth that quite literally all of you watching have gone on. Whether you can all look at a spot where like, oh, I didn't have anybody and but like, I'm okay now. You know, same type of shit. But when you're lonely for X amount of time, and you have like for vets, and like everybody you can get PTSD in a car crash. Okay. Yeah. You don't have to be a veteran to have PTSD or like go through hard times, But like you have like a dark place sometimes, especially when you lose that support group of the dudes you literally see at 5 a.m. in the morning, and then you have to go fucking do a bullshit run together, and you're all together all day until 5. And then now you're alone. You don't have that support, and you have like no one to talk to. And it's the sense of like constant loneliness and like mental chaos is not healthy.
And with social media or being your own boss, you're not forced to interact with people, and then you take advantage of that because you're like, I'll just do this by myself. Oh, I'll just handle this by myself. Oh, I'm good. I'm going to just do this by myself. And then you create this, I don't want to go out. I'll just stay home.
The boss of bosses.
Yeah.
The boss of bosses right here, people. Whether you want to admit it or not. Yeah.
And then you're just like, I'm going to just do my own thing, and I'll stay. Look, it's so quiet. I'll just get some work done. Oh, I will make excuses of not go hang out. It's like, I have a meeting, I have X, Y, and Z. And I do a lot of the time. I mean, you've been here. Unfortunately, I had 2 meetings waiting to get this podcast started because I planned for it. I was like, Nico's such a homie. He's like, no, take care of your shit. I'm like, okay, we got to, hop on this.
Getting it on the phone. I'm like, my boy, I stay here all day. I love it. I love it.
And it ran right into it. But it is really easy to get into that lone wolf life.
Yeah.
Especially if you're successful.
You're doing okay. This is something when you don't need other people necessarily, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's because don't get me wrong, being busy is okay.
Unhealthy.
Yeah. Being busy is okay. But like when you purposefully, if you want to tuck yourself away because you have a goal in mind and you were trying to achieve that, got it. But if you start to get into this antisocial area, I don't even know how to properly like put it together, and like people are there for you, but you almost, and like, it's a sense of feeling sorry for yourself too, and you have to tuck yourself away because you want to compete with people, you want to do your own thing, or you just don't want to see anybody. It's like it can start to get really unhealthy really fast. Really fast. So don't purposefully tuck yourself away.
Find a good healthy, like, again, the best way to be in a healthy relationship is you're happy alone. If you're happy alone, great. Just don't let that consume you. Don't let the alone consume you.
You don't need to be alone. Great. It's cool that you're alone. Okay, if you're go live in the fucking woods then on a boat in a lake where people don't exist. Like that's not healthy.
No.
I mean, maybe for some people, maybe the odd few. Like there's those people out there, right? And they live their best lives. Amazing for you. You are built different. You are a strong-minded individual.
They don't know how to interact with people when they come around. It's like, hello! That's the first reaction is screaming, pointing a gun at someone. It's the way I say hi.
Yeah. How are you? No, absolutely not. God, before we got into the depression stuff, I
don't even remember. This is what I love.
This is fun though,
dude. This is my favorite.
But making content, Well,
it's dude, like what even got you to join the military? Because your childhood, I don't know that much about it. If you grew up in like what kind of household, it was like, hey, my family were doing good, or hey, we like close family, separated family.
No, my mom and dad are thriving, doing great, still together. One thing, and this is not a knock on my brother by any means, because my brother does not have I don't talk to my brother, and he doesn't have a platform to defend himself, and I'm starting from like the beginning, guys, right? So
I love this.
My family's together, great. We weren't like poor. We were fine, right? Like for example, if I wanted a PlayStation 2 video game and it just came out, I could get it, but my mom would always say, let's wait a month or two and just see if at Blockbuster it goes on sale in like a month or so. And I go, okay. And then like, on Christmas, if I wanted a video game, like I would get it in my stocking or something like that, right?
Mom's getting coupons, but you ain't struggling.
Yeah, no, we're not struggling by any means. They both worked like super hard, super great lifestyle. But I think one thing is I started reflecting a lot when I was a younger kid, and I was like bullied and a lot. And like, that kind of, sorry guys, I think bullying is good for you. Not like, punching you in the fucking head bullying, But like, you can't, like, it's just, that's life, man. That's going to happen. And if you're a young person right now, like a young teen dude, like, it's not going to change. That is going to happen, but you have the roof that your parents are providing, or your family, or wherever you're at, and like your mom and dad to talk to. Understand that shit's not going away when you get older, and then you don't have that roof, and you don't have your family, and you don't. So like, you know, you can take it how you want.
Yeah.
You could take it how you want. And like, I just kind of like was like, you know what? I don't like the way these people are treating me, you know, and I'm not going to let it like get to me anymore. And then like other things, like reflecting on my mom and dad, like my parents are great. But like, I don't like, you know, one thing about my dad. He's not a violent. I'm sorry. I love going in depth, guys. I love breaking it down. Shit. And I hope somebody is able to like reflect on this, you know, if we're diving into it like this, right? But I started like, I think maybe that's it. I don't know. Your environment changes you, and you pick up on certain things, or you might not. But I would see, like, for example, my mom and dad would like, you know, talk amongst each other. They would get in their own like little arguments. They love each other. They're great. But one thing that really affected me, that I focus on was, sorry, I just totally jumbled over a bunch of words, was my younger brother got into a stance of like lying at one point in his life. And he's the younger brother, and I'm the older brother. And I've always been a bigger and dense individual. I'm not a giant guy. I'm 6 foot tall. Everyone thinks I'm like 5'8", whatever. Don't care.
Taller than me.
But,
I was like, he's handsome and 6 foot tall. Oh. Oh.
But I'm like, you know, built out. My brother's like a smaller, lankier kid. So like, if we got into an argument, I couldn't hit my brother, but my brother could beat me up if he wanted to, right? But if I hit him, like we might break a fucking bone in his body or something like that. And my parents started to like really choose my brother's side over like a lot of things. It started to like, wow, people just listen to other people like blindly like this just because he's younger and he says so. And like, they're not listening to me. And I was like, I don't really like that. I will. And then in my head, when I was younger, I was like, I will always like listen to other people, but I will always make my own decision at the end of the day. Like, I don't have to follow what you say at all, or believe what you say at all. Like, it's like when you meet somebody and like, I fucking hate that person. Like, they're a piece of shit. Be careful. Like, the other person, I'm like, I hear you, but I don't know that person. And who's to say, like, you know, you're my friend, but you're not a bad guy, right? Or you're the problem. Because like self-reflecting, like I said, I was like, my mom and dad did not self-reflect good. I would watch them like argue from time to time and be like, well, you're right, because she does do that, but you don't accept that because you're angry because you say he does this and you don't accept it, but you do that, right? And emotions get high. So
they communicate, but they don't listen. A lot of people, and I think that frustrates. It's when you're working in a relationship, or any kind of relationship, business, romantic, friendship, it's, hey, I'm communicating to you. What do you hear? And then if they can listen, actually proactively listen, then it can hit. But a lot of people, they're listening. I'm not even hearing what you're saying. This is what I'm hearing.
It's ego, guys.
Yeah, ego
and pride
crushes.
Kill it. It's okay to be wrong, because guess what? When you meet somebody who knows the actual answer, if you swallow your incorrect information and receive that, you're right for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
What is so bad about that? Like, I don't understand.
And people die on that hill where you're like, why? Hill. You're not growing. Why wouldn't you want to better yourself by checking your ego for fucking 5 seconds? 5 seconds.
Yeah. Being a lifelong learner is so important. And so like, that's why you guys are so successful. That's why you guys like blossom, and everybody you surround yourself with and blah, blah. You guys are so open-minded. And I love that about your guys' community. When I finally started to hang out and talk with everybody, it's not like, you're right, you're wrong. It's like, wait, hold on. Why? Wait, why? And it's not a why is like you're wrong. It's a, well, I do it this way. Why do you do it that way? And you can like learn from each other, you know? And, you know, you talked about in the beginning, like, you know, he does it this way and I do it this way. And like, we don't even have to meet here. But if it's like this one thing that you like take it, man, absorb that and like fucking continue to grow and stuff like that. And I think so many people hold themselves back because you just can't quite literally shut the fuck up and just like listen. And guess what? The other person might not be right. Why are you letting other people get to you? Like, are they paying you to get mad? Like, what are you doing, man? But yeah, long story short, I started to see a lot of that stuff. And then a lot of the people in my household couldn't swallow that ego and that pride. And I started to resent my brother, my mother, and my father so much that I just refused to be around them. And at the end of the day, like, this may sound terrible. And I may sound like I'm being a little bitch, whatever. But like I did wonder about that for a long time. If I was just like, if maybe it was just me, but my mother,
you gaslight yourself.
Yeah. I'm gaslighting myself. But then my mother did come to me, tears and all. And she's like, I've talked with like your brother, and like, he did admit when you were younger, you lied about those things. And I'm sorry. Like, it went that way and stuff. And I'm like, it's fine. Why? I'm not holding no grudges. If we're good now, we're good. And like, that shaped me into who I am today. And I'm happy with who I am. But I started to resent my family, and I just never wanted to be around them. And then I would watch like a bunch of YouTube videos and blah blah blah, and who's this Army Ranger guy making these funny YouTube videos? Matt Best, and I'm like, holy fuck, this dude is so funny. Oh, wait, should I go back even further? I was a huge troublemaker as a kid too. I should probably hit that up,
You're
okay?
like, I will be honest. I was a shitbag.
I was a shitbag. I was super respectful of my parents. I never snuck out. I never brought drugs into our home.
Brandon, hold up that travel size deodorant. Bring it closer to your face because it's not blurred. There we go.
Mando.
Acidified body wash.
The acid gets rid of all the dead skin cells, I think. I'm not a doctor, but a doctor designed it. I like how they wrote the script specifically for us because it says, do not talk about other brands. Please don't shame other brands.
They know us so well. That's why we love you, Mando.
Anyways, about our new deodorant, New Spice. I mean, Mando. Get it? Because New Spices.
Grundle? The word grundle is in here.
How is it used?
Proven to control odor better than a shower with soap alone. 12 hours after a shower, the average man's Grundle odor level was 5 out of 10. With Mando, the average Grundle odor level is 0 out of 10.
Did we just learn the metric for stink?
I think it's Grundle.
Grundle is a slang term primarily used in the US to refer to the perineum, which is the area of skin between the anus and the genitals.
AKA the gooch, AKA the taint.
It's literally, if you type in Grundle, it says Grundle versus Taint. One of my favorite boxing matches.
They measured a dude's taint odor.
All I can picture is Grimace from McDonald's.
Grundle man?
Taint goblin.
Instead of handing out burgers, he stabs children. Run, it's Grundle.
Run, it's Grundle.
Mando covers everything: shampoo, face wash, body wash, and deodorant. It stops odor, aka Grundle, before it starts.
This isn't your average deodorant or antiperspirant.
You can try Mando's starter pack. It's perfect. It comes with absolutely everything. As a special offer, you'll get 20% off site-wide with our exclusive code, Say Hi.
Over at shopmando.com.
Blah, blah, blah. I did resent them for certain things. And I would, if you guys know I did mention this on Unsub once or twice. I would get arrested at school. I would beat the fuck out of people. I would, sounds terrible. True though, I would rob people after school. I would steal phones. I would steal their shoes and make them walk home bare with no shoes on or something like that to make them feel like a bitch because they thought they were tough at school. And I was like, great. Everyone's going to know at school tomorrow when I'm wearing your shoes, you're a little bitch and you walked home to your mom.
Yeah.
Looking stupid. Right. And that got me off. That's not the right answer, guys, at all. And then long story short, got caught up. I said, started getting arrested at school, having to go to like police departments. And, luckily I got out of all of like the terrible worst case scenario stuff because it could have been really bad. But like, even though I was being a piece of shit, my mom and dad really went to bat for me. And then one thing that really turned my life around is they're like, okay, I was having like this court at the police department with like these 3 whatever guys who basically decide at this point, if you're going to go to court and be charged with this, and decide if you're going to go to juvenile hall or if you're going to go to like after school ACE programs and stuff like that. And then my mom was like pleading with them. Like, I know, because I was such a piece of shit. I was, the officers straight up telling me like, I don't think you're going to change. We've arrested you multiple times and you think you can get away with shit. You are literally hurting people. Like, nothing you're doing is good and we don't think you will change. And my mom is like pleading with them. And it was only because literally four doors down to the left of where I lived growing up was the chief of police from my hometown. And I've had interactions with him, but like, it's like, you know, normal. And he's like, and my dad went and knocked on his door. He's like, I'm sorry. He's like, I heard. He's like, I'm going to talk to them. But, you know, one of them is like gunning for Nikko, right? And then, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, that goes through. And my mom and dad had to work. We weren't struggling, but we weren't struggling because my mom and dad worked their fucking asses off.
Yeah.
My dad was going to work before I could even wake up for school. I didn't get to see him until like 3 or 4 hours after getting home from school. And he got home and basically would, you know, try and find his peace. Like, I know he loved us, made sure we had dinner, and he just wanted to watch some TV for like 2 hours and go to bed.
It's hard
It's the same thing tomorrow.
Yeah, because his mindset, and it's hard, especially I'm providing for the family. Look what I'm doing, and that generation very much.
Different.
Oh, I'm doing great because I'm providing all of this. It's not hanging out. It's not that daily like, hey, bud, what's up? And he doesn't understand. Oh, this is what my kids need. His thought process is, look at this roof. I'm providing food.
Yeah, I didn't resent him for that though.
Yeah, and no, you usually don't. It's just part of it that molds you as a child. They're not present all the time.
But that's why I didn't disrespect my parents. Like, I was very aware. I didn't like things about them, but like, swallow your ego, know your place. Like, I'm a kid. I can't afford my own shit. What the hell? Like,
yeah.
What?
I can't even rent a video game.
Yeah. Fuck. Bro, how am I supposed to play Assassin's Creed 2?
That's what dad does. He works hard so he can rent me video games.
Yeah. And my mom, she drove us to would sleep, wake up, drive us to school, and then she went to work before we got home from school, so we didn't get to see our mom very much. So realistically, both of them working like 10 to 12 hour days. Yeah. Not your typical 9 to 5s, because both of them worked in like Oakland and we lived in like the East Bay Area. And so it's like maybe like a 45-minute, hour-long drive out to Oakland, California. And so, yeah, we didn't get to see each other a lot, but like we were doing good because of that. But yeah, so didn't disrespect my parents because I was very aware, and like they worked hard. But since they worked, I had to hit that because they decided I wasn't going to get pressed with charges at the end of the day. Instead, my alternate route was, you get to go to like this, I don't know if it was called the ACE program or whatever at the end of the day, but every Tuesday and Thursday after school, I immediately had to show up at the police department. And it was like an hour or 2 hour long class with like kids who were kind of like me, and we're in a room with an officer. And then there's a teacher just kind of like not really therapy, but just kind of us like, talking about life. And I really liked that approach because they weren't telling us we were wrong. We were just talking about life and how like some things might be harder for other people. So I thought that was great because like literally the whole thing was reflecting on other people. And like when you're a stubborn ass little fucking teenager shithead, it's impossible sometimes to understand that. And
very hard.
Yeah. The problem we ran into though, is they're like, if he does not show up the first day, which was, we had to do this on a Monday after school. They're like, he has to show up tomorrow. And my mom had just got done doing leave because my mom had like a severe back injury at work. And so she can't take the time off of work, and neither can my dad, because my dad had lost his job and then focused really hard to get a new job. Oh, yeah. And there was no way we could do that. And there was no way, because we didn't have like a bunch of cars or anything, for me to quite literally get to that police department in time. I've rode the public bus like to and from school and stuff, but there was no route that way. And even for the route that was the closest, I never would have made it in time. And the only officer we were talking to at the time, this is when we realized like we had to come up with a real situation or a real like game plan solution, was the officer who was like quite literally gunning for me. And we heard that from the police chief, like, he doesn't like you, but like, you have to understand, Randy, that's my dad's name. He's like, he has the say so, and I can only do so much because, like, you know, we're both bosses. Like, hey, I'm not going to overstep the person I put in charge over here, like my right hand guy, just because you guys are having a thing. I will do my best, but they're going to make some decisions because that's why I hired them. And so we were talking face to face with that guy, and we went home. We're like, okay, you know what? My mom called my dad, and she's like, Randy, like, we have to figure something out. Like, there's no way for him to like get there, because they were nervous. They were stressed about this. And then we realized my grandparents live in like an old people's like home. My grandpa could barely drive the van still. I think after this point in time, he could only drive for like another year or two. And hey, they're going to have to pick you up on Tuesdays and Thursdays and drive you straight thereafter. It's the only way you're going to make it. It's the only way this guy isn't going to look for an excuse to like fuck you over. And that was a big one for me. Like everyone, I love my grandparents. Like, I have no resentment to them. Like, you know, I love them so much. And when I saw how disappointed they were, and like they're old, man. My grandpa's he died. He's not with us anymore. But like, they're old and they're quite literally tired. They give you that energy when like they can when you go to visit, but they don't have it every day.
No, it's very draining.
I saw it and I was like, oh my God, I feel like guilty right now.
This is my fault.
This is 100%. This is my fault. I have to like behave more. And because then like some days they would like, you know, just rest in the parking lot for like an hour or 2 hours, depending on the class, because they then have to drive me back. And then when my dad got home from work, I could either walk from their house to the bus stop and take the bus home, or I could wait for my dad to get off work, but then he's tired too. He just wants to get home and watch his 2 hours of TV and knock out because he's got to wake up at like fucking 3 or 5 in the morning again the next day. But now he's got to come pick me up too. And at that point in my life, like, I realized I was like affecting my family, right? Even though I respected them, I kept the things I didn't like to myself. This was my character development, big time.
Yeah.
And then, you know, life goes on, change for the better. I'm not doing no stupid shit like that no more. That also caused me to, like, you know, I didn't really care much about school. I'm not an academic type person. I like what I like in my hobbies, and, you know, that's where like I'll lock in on things.
We're not book smart because, again, we're a lot alike. Fucking school, very secondary. If it's not something I care about, I fuck off. I'm not gonna do the homework. I don't care. I'm gonna do the bare minimum to scrape by.
I didn't do homework. All I did was do my best to get a C on tests. And guys, that is not the option, but quite literally, I guess I'm a numbers guy before I realize it. I was like, well, technically you don't even have to do the homework because it's only worth like 10% or less. But why are the tests like 70% on my whole grade? And if we're taking a test every like week or a pop quiz every 2 weeks, and I just like Google what's going on in the book and I don't like flunk it, like, I'm good.
Yeah, I'll pass. I know. I'll just do this. Then I don't have to do the homework.
Yeah. And like one of my biggest like issues with school at the time was, and I tried focusing on school at this point, but it was too late and it wasn't enough. I failed Algebra 1 back-to-back years. And so the only thing, I almost didn't graduate high school. And when I say I almost didn't graduate high school, to put it in perspective on a scaling chart, when you guys, well, at least for my class and like out in like, you know, the Bay Area, is like when you graduate, like we had like 700 and something kids in my graduating class. And you're ranked on that number. Like there's no names, but like on your like shit, it tells you the number when you're graduating, like what your GPA is, if you're going on your online portal and stuff like that. And I'm aware of the people who didn't graduate, and like they don't give a shit. And so they'll like show you all of this stuff. And I remember seeing my buddy's number, and it was like 730 something maybe. So maybe like 20 kids who didn't graduate in that class when we were seniors. And I remember seeing my number when I went home and looked at my report card. It was like 727, 729. And when I talked to my counselor, who, by the way, I panicked when I failed my math exam my senior year. I needed that, like, because you need, like, 2 years of math or like 2 years of this to graduate. I failed it. And I ran up to him and I was like, Mr. Bonnie, can I go to the, because he pulled me up and he's like, you failed it. And I was like, can I go talk to my counselor right now? I don't think I'm going to graduate. I needed this to graduate, like high school. And he's like, go, get out of here. And I go in there and they're like, oh no, you're good. And I was like, what? And they're like, it's fine. Like, let me look really quick. They're like, okay, no, you're going to graduate. And I'm like, how am I graduating? They're like, well, your freshman year when you did earth science, that counts as a science and a math. And I failed algebra for 2 years, did geometry for 1 year, and then I did algebra 2. Oh, fuck, I failed 3 years of math. I failed algebra 2 because I failed algebra 1, I had to redo it my sophomore year, failed it then, passed geometry some fucking how, and then algebra 2, flunked that both semesters as well. And yeah, long story short, when I looked at that report card and then what my buddy was saying, and he was like, you're barely graduating by 3 people. And I was like, holy fuck, my GPA was that low. I was that close to not graduating. This is insane. And guys, that is so not the course of action you should take, by the way. It was very stupid of me. Like, that was just sheer, like,
Scraping by.
Scraping by. Luck of the draw. Totally out of my hands. Out of my hands being that lucky. I could have studied, though, and just not gone through the fucking, like, issues of that at all. Just, like, get your GED, please. Like, if you at least you have your GED, you can like go to the military or something, and as you can see, the military is outstanding.
I did the GED. Dude, I mean, it was hard because they were like, hey, you're going to have to repeat your senior year. And that's the only reason I was like, fuck this. I'm just fucking getting my GED. And then I dropped it. I was like, nah, because those last 2 years, last year, it might have been last 2 years, year or 2 years, but I did alternative school. If all school was alternative school, so efficient because it was a efficient school. It was, hey, school starts at 12.
Yeah. And
you are there until you finish your homework for the day and you pass it. That took me 40 minutes to do all my English, my math, and my science and reading. It took me 45 minutes to get everything done because I bring it up, like, there, teacher would be like, and passing, done.
You
leave.
Don't know you're a genius, though. Guys, he doesn't know that he is. But I will let you know he is actual genius. And, like, he locks the fuck. If he wants to learn something, he's better than you at it now, and he's learned it last night.
I'm gonna be and dude, it was the nicest thing. I was like, cool, I get to learn everything at my pace, and I don't have to worry about anything. So hand it in, like, good, go home. So my school every day was 45 minutes, and it would be start at noon, be home at 12:45. Missing out from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. and I'm getting the same education as all the kids at high school. And then my friends would be like, man, that sounds way better, actually. I'm like, right? Because they got to watch me just sleep.
Why not do this the whole time?
I know, dude. Literally, I was like, this is the way to do it. Why would you want to do it? Fucking not 7 to 3 p.m. That's stupid. I could just knock this out. And then they were like, hey, you do have to do 1 extra year because you missed your sophomore year. I was like, I'm going to just get my GED. And then I'm going to join the military. I'll go that route, and then I'll figure out life. And thankfully, that worked out for me. But dude,
look at my boy now, man.
I fucking hated school, man. It was. I sucked at it. It's here. You have to learn the shit you don't care about, and I just like ADHD. I want to learn hey, let me learn analytics. Hey, let me learn art. Hey, let me learn this. If that was all schooling, where it's like,
You would have been the fucking valedictorian.
yeah. And I'm sure you're the same way. Where you're like, man, if it's just these specific things.
Oh yeah, if it's like my like only thing that I'm good at, like of course, but gosh,
It's a hard
in the
one.
sense of education, guys. Yes, you need your general education. You need to finish high school and graduate. I don't believe in college though.
No, fuck no.
Fuck no. Like, hey, bro, you're getting played. Like, but unless you're gonna be a scientist or something of the
Doctor.
sciences or a doctor, absolutely go and do that, right? Everything is on the internet, and I'm not sure about you. If you apply to work for me, I have a few different, I'm doing good. I have different companies, and I have like a full staff, and I have like a handful of employees.
You don't give a fuck about that resume. Do not give a. This is me personally. If you are self-taught and you are crushing it, bro, I am going to hire you so much faster than
You have to work here now because I see your potential, even though you don't. You know,
a teacher didn't tell you to learn this and you learned all this. Versus
Drive.
Oh yeah, drive is all I give a shit about.
That's it. Yeah. But like schooling is not everything. It's all about like what you're into and just yada bada bing bong.
Dude, business college, a good example. It's like gen ed classes for college, art classes for college, all this shit that has nothing to do with business. And then you're just barely learning, or art school, film school. You're learning all the dumb shit that at the end of college, you're going to make probably like 4 shorts. So a single YouTuber will do that in less than a month. You made
Real
more
world
content.
experience.
So much.
being
Oh, dude.
developed.
Because in one month, I gave a speech for a art college. I was talking to the senior class, and I remember asking them, it's like, how many films have you guys made to this point? Like shorts, films. And they were like 3 to 4. I'm like, wait, stop. In 4 years, you've done 3 to 4 shorts, films. That's it? Like, yeah. So less than a month of my YouTube. What? You're getting, how much did you spend on this? So like 90 grand. You spent 90 grand to make.
What are you getting out of this?
Yes.
Like no one's going to hire you because you went to school and got the same piece of paper as everybody else. And if you come to try and work for me, if you bring up your college degree, you are immediately thrown in the fucking garbage can. I'm not even kidding. And I'm sorry to say that to some of you. That's not what the hiring market is looking for, guys. That's not what we're looking for, and not what we like care about. Do you have potential? Are you willing to work? What are you good at? Like, can you adapt and overcome? Like that's, and there's nothing more motivating than seeing somebody who just graduated high school fucking hungry. You use up those 4 years going to school when you're hungry to like get the job you want. When you could just show up hungry in front of an entrepreneur or anybody, dude, I want that hunger, because guess what? 4 years later, you don't have it. You don't have that drive. You don't have that hunger. You don't have that desire and need to be there to show up and work for free. You're entitled. That's the problem I've come across with a lot of people who have degrees, is the entitlement of having a degree and going to school with something that is just on the internet and is open source. Like, you didn't learn any secret sauce in school. You just repeated the process for 4 years.
And usually outdated material.
And you're influenced by professors and da-da-da-da-da-da. You're not absorbing the information. You're absorbing the information taught to you a certain way.
Yep.
So, and then that entitlement, and they're like, well, I believe I'm worth this. Like, oh, you know what? If you want a job, here's this. And then here's another big thing. When you're, graduate, you're 18, 19 years old looking for a job, you'll take whatever you can get, right? When you're, $50,000 in debt, 22 to 24 years old, and you have this degree that you just spend all this money on, in time you just spend all this money on, and you walk into this office and you're like, well, I believe I deserve this because I did this, and I'm amazing because blah, 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 and I like got straight A's and da 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 da. It's like, okay, why do I give a fuck about any of that? I get it. You're amazing. You're not going to be my boss. I'm your boss.
Yep.
You're going to be my bitch. Like, that's what it is. And when I offer that amount, they're like, oh, well, no, I went to school for this many years. And like, that's a salary we would never take. Okay. Well, this 18-year-old kid will take it. And, in 2 years, when I teach him how to make money, he's going to make more money than what you're making at 30. Yep. So please understand that. And that's what I do with like all of my employees now. They all have their own businesses. Yep. I'm like, okay, I will pay you set amount, but I'm going to show you guys how to develop in your own, like learning is this, if you guys think about it, and I'm curious to see what you think, learning knowledge and expanding and learning how to grow is the same no matter what industry you go in, as long as you have like a good base on like how to scale things. Does that kind of make sense? That might like seem very vague and like open, but like, for example, when I hired my first assistant, she was like, oh, I was like, hey, I know you work at this like chiropractor place. I think you have so much potential. Fuck that. Stop working there. Cause she's like, oh, I want to do like, yoga and be like an influencer and do this stuff because I really like it. And I was like, you stop working there. You work for me today. I will front load you and pay you money out of my own pocket. Okay. You come work for me now and I will show you how to make your own money. I will show you how to grow and start by creating your own company. So you can start writing off stuff on your taxes, understand how to preserve your money and keep your money. Cause that's always step one. If you guys don't understand IRS tax codes, that's a start. There's no point in making more money if you only get to keep 50% or less. Like it makes no sense.
They start taking a little.
Yeah, great. You can make more money. Guess what? You're going to owe more at the end of the year on taxes, dude. What are you talking about? But yeah.
Pay people to like learn it and then also work with individuals that are a lot smarter in that and know your own limits.
Yeah. Sorry, by the way, I am talking like I'm just talking to Eli right now. We have very long, thorough conversations, and I forgot I am on Say Hi To Eli right now. So I'm going to pick it the fuck up really quick. So yeah, my mom and dad, my parents, my thoughts on the education system. There's nothing wrong with school though, guys. If you want to pursue school, go for it. That's just my thought process on it and my experience. And I'm not right, but I don't think I'm wrong either.
No, I would, again, we both hire outside the school element. And then even at the largest scale of business, the corporate side, that if you're at the corporate side or once you go public, you will see the problem with just the corporate side. The suits, they have no connection with an audience. They know how to usually crash a company. They're only focused on the numbers.
That's it.
Yes. And then you can watch how that can fuck something up versus a entrepreneur establish this through a community based or my own hardships that other people are that is relatable to others. Oh, now we've scaled together. Oh, hey, look where we are versus here, let me bring in some suits and let them run it. They will fuck it up beyond belief.
One person who made a really good point is Kevin O'Leary. He's from Shark Tank. God, I hope that's the correct name. But if you guys search that up and hear his ice cream story from when he was a kid, there's only two positions, guys: boss and employee. Or you just don't work and you're like an amazing house husband or housewife. Like I'm not even kidding when I say that, because guess what? You can be like, oh, I have a arts degree or whatever. Are all of you artists? No. When you get hired, you are an employee. There's a title. Guess what your actual title is to the higher ups? Employee. That's it. You are whatever I pay you to do. That's it. So Kevin O'Leary, long story short, he worked at an ice cream shop. His shift was going over and he wanted to go on this date. And the girl he was about to go on this date with was watching. And he worked at the ice cream shop. He's closing up. And the owner said to him, you need to go scrape gum under the tables before you go. He's like, well, I'm not a table scraper. And I apologize if I'm not relaying this the best, but it's the concept is all the same. I'm not a table gum scraper. Like, that's not what I got hired for. And then they said, and this clicked for me because they're not wrong. You are whatever I pay you to do. I hired you to do because I'm the boss. And he quit right there. And he went on that date, and that was the last time he ever worked for anybody, I guess. And I'm like, that is actually so true. Because guess what? You can say no. You're fucking fired, dude. Bye. Like, guess what? You can be replaced, guys. You just can't be replaced if you're the boss.
Yep. That is the best position. And anyone that's been in a boss role, especially once you've entrepreneur, you've ran your own business, it is the idea of working for somebody else or listening to somebody else. No go. Like,
absolutely.
Instead of like, no, I know. And because you'll want to. You even new business partnerships, it's like, okay, hey, we're in this together. But when you hear bad ideas and you're like, oh, we're at a different level on this journey. Okay, hopefully they listen. But if it's like equal partnerships, it can sort of discourse starts and then failure can start and you're like, fuck, oh, I got to deal with this again. Okay. God damn.
This fucking sucks.
Yeah. Oh, so
wait, rewind one more time. Sorry, let me bring it back for you. And if you're bored, let me know.
No,
and we'll
I
move
love
on
this.
to something else, guys.
This is my favorite shit.
Because I don't think I've gone in depth. Like, we cover the bases, right? But so then, yeah, education system, how I feel about that. Blah, blah, blah. So then graduate high school, all right? And I'm seeing, Matt Best, like, videos and all the stuff he's making with, like, JT and stuff like that. And I'm like, dude, these guys are funny. The military's cool. I always thought guns were cool. I always thought the military was cool. But it was never an option for me. I never really, liked it. And, there's a few factors that really got me to join the military. But, these are probably the main ones. All kind of the same things happening at the same time right now. I was going to a junior college. There was no way with my GPA I was going to a real college, right?
Yep.
I was going to Los Medanos College in Brentwood, California, okay? It was, right up the road from my house, and I was like, we can afford this, and, it's something, because at the time, I wanted to be a police officer in Oakland. That's, my goal. And I have a few buddies joining the military. It's whatever. I feel I have this little internal feeling that I want to do something more than just for me. I don't want to do it for me.
A greater cause.
I want, a much greater cause. And I'm very lonely-ish as a kid. Everyone is at that point, right? I'm lonely. I'm not doing anything with my life, and I'm not doing good things again. I'm not drugs or nothing, but I'm aggressive. It's so weird to say that because only a few people I think one of the only few people who've actually ever seen me I want to fight everybody is probably Nick. Nick, I don't know, maybe he's told stories, or Brandon, if I just want to fight everybody. If you say fuck that dude, I'm probably already hitting him for you. But I wasn't doing good things.
It is that weird mindset. I think when they watched the boxing segments of when we did boxing and we recorded and did some BTS for it, but that was one of the main comments. So man, not used to Eli's switch like that, where it's the super happy, goofy dude that's fight mode, and then it is a completely different personality.
My boy ready to go.
Yeah, it's
my boy's ready to go.
I do this good, but I also do violence very good.
Violence is my favorite.
Yeah, I just choose not to do the violence. Is my favorite thing to do. I just do the other stuff because it's way more healthy.
Yeah,
we're really good at this stuff.
And I'm like, okay, I need to not do what I put my grandparents and my parents, unfortunately, through, right? But my parents at the time are still choosing all things over my brother. My brother's still lying about shit. Oh, Nico's beating me up. Nico said this. And I would come home and be blah, 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 resent my family. And then the military kind of got on the map for me. I was like, oh, maybe that's an option. Maybe. Not very serious about it. Going to college, my mom and dad are we're going on a trip to Italy all together as a family. I severely resent my family at this point in my life.
Yep.
And I'm like, I don't want to go. And the fact that you guys are telling me to fucking go is very frustrating. They're like, no, I don't care. You're going. Blah, 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 blah. And man, I feel like I'm missing a few things right here. But now fast forward, maybe a few weeks. It's a
You're an
trip
adult
to
right
Italy.
now, though, right?
Yeah, I'm an adult right now.
Yeah, so it's harder because you're
I'm 18 years old. I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to do with my life.
You're the man. You should be able to make your own decisions. Why the fuck do I have to do this?
Yeah, why do I have to do this? Blah, blah, blah. I hate that my parents are dragging me around. And these are people that I felt at the time, don't give a fuck about what I have to say. And I don't want to go on a trip with them.
Yeah.
doing weird. First,
I'm gonna go potty real quick.
dude, I have to piss too. Okay. We're both peeing, guys. Time out.
This is how our lives are closely the same. Or man, they didn't have it easy. That was way more difficult.
We're just normal people. It's about how you take on the problems, guys.
That's for a lot of people. That's a wake up call, and it can be a message for a lot of people. It's like, okay, I need to get rid of the victim mindset. I'm not the only one that had hardships in life. They made this goal. They reached that goal through just hard work and dedication. Even with all this offset childhood drama or whatever, they still made it. I have no excuse of why I can't do something. It's like,
there's no excuse. Guys, if you don't quit, it's impossible to fail. And half the time when you're on that journey, you figure out what you actually give a fuck about, and it branches off into something else.
It's just a lot of people just they do not know how long it can take, so they give up. Well, I worked on it 3 months. You're like, bitch, 3 months? Holy shit! I would be at 3 months. If I quit after 3 months, if I quit 2 years in, nothing would have been accomplished. It took me 4 years before getting a job in the industry, and then it took 4 more years to learn the business side of everything. And then it took 4 more years. This has been like a 16-year process.
Grind, hustle,
yeah.
hustle.
But if I would have quit on the 3 month mark, the 1 year mark, nothing would have happened.
I wanted to quit the second day of basic training. That's
why I was like,
I'm not even fucking kidding. Dude.
That's what I want to know. It's like you were already leading into like, hey, this is why I joined the military.
No, yeah, I just wanted to give you the backstory because
that's the next question.
But the thing is, it only makes sense if you guys understand the backstory, because the person makes these decisions. It's not like. It may always, if you have a general conversation, it may seem like, oh, they just made that decision. But it's like, no. It's like a buildup. Like your environment does shape you. But really quick on that is like the distance thing. What I like to say is the distance is unknown, but the destination is so real.
Oh, yeah.
So just keep going. The distance can only be so long. It's not an infinite number.
No, it could take years and years and years. But then when it happens, Samuel Jackson wasn't 46 until he landed his first
yes.
role? Like homeboy was 46 and then it happened.
Crazy.
And you have people that are even further along than that, and then it's that one moment. Oh, that opened a door. Oh, thank God I did not quit until then. Could have. And then it's that famous meme where that dude's giving up right at the wall of
seriously
diamonds,
bro.
And then the other guy's here, but he's just continuing to go, and he'll hit it because the other guy gave up.
When you're crying, you're alone, and you feel like there's no way up, down, left, right, cheat code. You're 3/4 of the way there.
Yeah, you're almost there.
But you're farther than everybody else, I promise.
It sucks. It's gonna always suck. It doesn't get easier, and it usually gets lonelier along the journey, because then it's this person's crazy. Oh, that's not going to work. Oh, these people are doubting me. Oh, and then you're like, fuck, everyone thinks I'm crazy. Well, I just got to keep going. I got to keep going.
This is actually my wallpaper, because even I have to remind myself as I continue to pursue. It says, it's my wallpaper on my phone.
I love it. I love it.
There is no success without suffering. Fuck everybody. Nobody cares. Keep going and stay violent. And I'm just like, I will aggressively attack everything in my life every single day if I want it. And guess what? If you're not, then this is the other option. If you're not violently willing to kill and go for it, you just don't want it that bad. And that's okay. Maybe there's something else that you want, dude. You can always change up and do what you like, guys. Yep. But
once you do it that first time, it does get easier.
Yes.
You can then take everything, all that knowledge, and then apply it to your next business, your next journey, and then infinitely more easy. It's just that first journey is going to suck.
Yeah. Just set goals. It's because it's hard to see it, right? Mm-hmm. But when you set those goals, and they don't have to be massive. You don't have to have a net worth of negative $10 and be like $1 billion. Guys, a real goal, maybe to start, if you were $10 in debt, get rid of your debt. Like, that's a real goal, but you have to have a plan with every goal and have little ones. Okay. And then you start to see you're accomplishing a checklist, and that's all this is.
Snowball.
If you need to see it. Okay. Rewind fast forward 5 times. So yeah. So before I begin it, I'm not pushing religion on anybody, but at the time, don't believe in God, don't think God is real. Not everybody in my family, like maybe like a few people on my mom's side, you know, they pray and shit, like whatever. Now I'm a God-fearing man, and that is it. This is the only thing to fear in this life for me now. But my parents tell me about this trip to Italy at the beginning of the month. And then Friday, this is my first semester of my junior college, okay? Math finals are on Friday. And it's like Geometry 101, I think. And I walk into the class. This is my first semester. I'm about to finish it. You know, many more to come to get a degree and whatnot. Maybe like 20 minutes into like this 4-hour exam. And a voice, no bullshit, on my life, a voice as clear as I am talking to you, in my ear, literally just, if you don't join the military, you'll regret it for the rest of your life. And I didn't question that. I did not think anything of it. I just went, okay, and stood up, put my paper on the test, and I said, here you go, Miss Gondon. She's like, is everything okay? I was like, yeah, everything's fine. I don't think I'm going to come back today. I never went back to that school because I went straight to the recruiter's office. I asked for everything I needed. I asked for the whole packet to, you know, get shipped out and like join the military. Not my time. After seeing Matt Best, I'm like, oh, the Army's like sick. I want to be an Army Ranger. I want to get an option 40 contract. And they're like, well, we don't have any option 40. If you guys don't know how that works, there's only so many slots in like the special operations community, or let alone just, sorry, I take it back. And realistically nowadays in any and all MOSs across the board, there's only so many slots a year, right? And they're like, we don't have any slots, but we do have 11 Bravo slots, which is infantrymen. And like, basically, long story short, recruiters, oh, dude, you just do good. They'll ask you when you go there if you want to go to airborne school, and then, you know, you go to Ranger school, and then they just ask you if you want to go to Ranger battalion. I was like, yes. And
they don't. The recruiters do say that. Basic training, they don't have to do that.
No, if you get lucky,
yeah.
And then, you know, we can jump in so I don't keep fucking fast forwarding anything. If you want to revisit about how the airborne contract and option 40 contract and special forces options went in boot camp, let me know. But I walk in there, and I still haven't thought about that voice the entire time, all the way up until maybe a week before boot camp. But my dad gets home on Friday, and my mom actually took the day off. And my mom comes downstairs because she hears my dad crying and my dad raising his voice. And I'm sitting there in front of my dad, and I was like, I think I'm going to join the Army. I think it's what I want to do. I think it's the right course of action for me. And then I was like thinking, and like, guys, this wasn't like a bold move because I heard a voice in my head like a crazy person. I did think and process it. And I was like, well, I want to be a police officer, and like, who are they going to hire, right? Because I'm 18 at the time. I can't have a pistol unless you do post for like the police department, but you still have to be like 21 or like 20 with the department and like all these other things. And I was like, or I can go get like real world experience and like join the military and like, you know, really understand some things. And I was like, well, if police officer or FBI agent also is like my goal, then like this really helps me with my goal, but I can't go into the FBI because I don't have a degree, and I can't become a police officer because there's no openings in like Antioch, California, Oakland, California at the time. So this is something really good for me that I can do right now. And they were like, how quick can you go? And I thought about my parents' Italy trip, and I was like, I want to go now. like what is the show Shameless, where the kid walks in, he's like, I'm ready to leave right now. Literally, Nico, I was like, 2 day, put me on a bus and just send me off, right? So long story short, I talked to my parents like, this is silly, this is like dumb. My mom, like I said, is very supportive of me. My mom's like, Randy, if he wants to go and become a CIA assassin and like do whatever he loves, like go ahead and do it. And he's like, you want him to be a killer? Like, what are you talking about? And like all this stuff. And like my grandfather on my mom's side was in the military. Some of my uncles in the military, not like a giant military family. But yeah. And then long story short, come Monday, and I let them know, I was like, like you said, I am an adult now and I have to make this decision, first real decision for myself. He's like, you never even had for all you guys out there, neither of my parents really wanted me to do it. Not even my mom. They both teamed up, right? Totally fine. I get it. Parents, if that's you, I'm not talking shit about you. Totally realistic feeling to have, right? And they're like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, you've never had a job for more than like 4 months at a time. Like, now you're trying to commit to something for 4 years. Like, that's ridiculous. And I'm like, the way I looked, I was like, well, if I have to be locked in a room and do this now, I'm like, technically, isn't that the best thing for me? So I'm going. Showed up Monday with like, all the paperwork stuff. We did all of that. And, I picked the earliest date so I didn't have to go on that Italy trip. And then there was no excuse for me to be the bad guy because I'm going to serve my country. Yeah. So I was a fuckhead and that's what I did. And January 20th was my official enlistment date. And I didn't go on that trip with my family. And from when I told my family about it, I was done with my MEPS situation, done with my MOS slotting, and I was gone 2 months later. I told my parents the one thing I'll give them is, because I think it was November maybe when I did this, I told my mom the one thing I'll allow is I'll stay for Christmas, because I could have left in the beginning of December. There was a date and I was like, I'll stay for Christmas and the New Year's, and then like that's it. We have 2 months together. That's it. And then yeah. Scared.
And I was the same way, where it was reliability or getting in a routine of anything. Not the best at, and my mindset was to say, well, the Army's just going to force, there is no, I have to do it. Yeah. And that's where I'm going to thrive, because I'm going to just have to. Adapt
and overcome, baby.
Yeah. And that's all. I was like, okay, well, this is my life now. And that is, thank God I did that, because I needed it. Dude, you're like me. It was like, I would have been a shitbag outside of that.
We would both probably be in jail, possibly. I don't know. Yeah. I know. He was like, I don't know about that, but you, Nikko, yeah, you'd be in jail. And I'm like, probably.
Dude, I was lazy as fuck. I would find anything else to do other than that, versus, this is, and you're going to war, and you're going to this, and then like, oh yeah, that was a fucking crazy time to join and do it. But thank God it was done.
Yeah,
thank God, because getting out, that is the only reason like you are where you are, because you found your mission outside of it. You did your time. It sucks. You created that brotherhood though, and that bond, and now you get to share that outside. And only, as you're saying, like 1% of the nation actually serves their country.
1%, guys. And you have to understand that 1%, too, this is not a knock on anybody who hasn't deployed or anything like that, because there's just not times of war. Like a lot of like 11Bs now, you're like, oh, when'd you get into a gunfight? And like they don't have their CIB, they've never been in a gunfight. And I'm like, I get it, because I got super lucky. I got at the very end of like a lot of the shit storm in Afghanistan, and the only reason I was able to go to other places and do other things is because I went into the intel community after my time as an 11 Bravo. But yeah, I'm like, sometimes it's just not your time. You can't pick when you're born, but there's less than 1% who actually goes to like quite literally serve and or die for their country.
Super low. And then again, you take that outside of the military, and then that drive you get from it. You're like, okay, cool. And the leadership's my favorite thing. I was like, okay, this is the most dope thing. And you get to see when people haven't had that or been thrown into that type of leadership role, they suffer. They don't have that same self-esteem. They don't have that same, hey, we lead from the front. Here, I'll do it first. And you get a lead.
It's like arriving in a foreign country because you don't even like recognize anything. And it's a different way of like adulting or understanding and receiving and processing information. It's very weird. It's very odd coming out of the military.
Oh,
and you have to like shut the fuck up because no one knows what you're talking about half the time. And then they think you're like a fucking dickhead trying to brag. And it's like, I'm just going to shut the fuck up because no one understands me.
And then you find the guys that do understand you, and then you can build empires. You're like, yes, this is these are my friends. These they get me. I'll keep, these are this circle's of mine.
The few.
Dude.
Are the only that matter.
So you did that time. And then what was it like getting out of the military at first?
So like another spiral for me, because there's two, because I had to get out twice technically. Leaving active duty was difficult for me, but then also being forced to leave like the Army Reserves, which we can dive into. I may have talked about it, but like being forced to go on IRR because of social media, and then leaving what I had left was also difficult. But yeah, leaving the active Army, leaving Fort Polk, Louisiana, drive off base. No more than 10, 30 seconds later, I'm just crying on my drive home back to California from Louisiana, dude. I'd never thought it would have an effect like me, but like this sense of loneliness was instant. And I do believe, like, you know, I've had a very like privileged military career, a lot of good, like solid positions. And like you said, leadership, man, being able to lead others. But and people take that the wrong way. Oh, you just think leading people to do certain things is cool. It's like, no, the purpose of being a leader and being a selected leader, right? Because you have to be selected to be a leader, right? Mm-hmm. Is you are simply there to help develop people to their highest potential. Your goal as a leader, for all you pieces of shit NCOs in the military across the board and head officers, all of you are worried about soldiers passing you up and being better than you.
It's what you want.
That's the fucking point, dude. That's the whole purpose of why you were selected, because you were great. And we hope and pray you can pass that greatness on to others who don't believe in themselves. And like, you know, what we talked about hiring and stuff like that. I hire based off of potential. Yeah. Not your prior, like, you know, work experience is great, but like, I don't always hire people with the most work experience. I hire people with the most potential to grow, learn, and develop and execute. That's what I love to see.
I want everyone to pass me, because then I've done a good job, and then I can be like, oh, look, I put my eggs in that basket for this reason. Look where they're going to go. They make me look like a piece of shit. That's fucking great. I'm super happy because I'm like, dope.
And in the world of business, those are the, like, to put an example, oh, well, I think that's stupid. Well, guess what? When you hire a bunch of employees and you open up 10 different fucking businesses, and then now all of them can effectively run it because you developed them to be better leaders than yourself to run those companies individually, what the fuck do I have to do anymore? Because those are still my companies. I'm getting paid all the money. Like, what are you talking about?
Rising tides raises all boats. That statement's perfect. It's like, what? Oh, look. Oh, everyone's developed and grown. Yeah. Oh, we're all up to this level now.
Yeah. And who's to say they can't grow in a branch of understanding and doing something that you don't understand? And you can learn from the people you teach. It's just that sense of ego, pride. And like, I get it. It's going to happen every time. But like, I hope and pray to God that all of you out there can like recognize it and kill it. Learn. I don't care if you're like, you know, Samuel L. Jackson, you're 40 years old, 50 years old. You can start. You can learn, and then you can win, guys. But that's how you start the process. You don't just, I won. Maybe that happens for a few people if you win the lottery, but that is such a rare case scenario. That is so cherry picked.
So fucking rare. And you don't learn anything. If you want to develop yourself, it is through the hardships is what develops you or makes you better. It's, steel sharpens steel.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I drive off post, I'm crying, and I cried because like community is like my whole thing, right? Like I bring soldiers into my teams, and I'm like, hey, like I'm gonna fuck with you. I'm gonna punch you in the head sometimes, but I love you, and I'm here for you. And when I left that base, I felt like I lied to them, and I was abandoning everybody. Because those were my only friends. Yep. Because like when you're in the military and you're at least on active duty, and this is nothing against Guard or Reservist component, this is my personal experience, you're not around your original friends. You quite literally watch when you're a young guy, at least in the military, you watch all of your friends you went to high school with blossom and grow and develop and start families and live a life, and you're just fucking stuck in a country somewhere, not knowing what the fuck is going on, no rights, no nothing. And it sucks balls. But I had nothing but these group of dudes. And all we gave a fuck about was each other. And like, that was it. And when I left, that crushed me because I felt like I was lying about everything I preached. Because I did try to lead from the front and let them know, like, it's just us, guys. Like, when you get in trouble by Sergeant Major, I'm going to tell you to run away, and I'm going to fucking eat that maximum ass chewing for you. I'm still going to come and fuck you up later, but like, I'm going to eat that because nobody fucks you up but me.
Yep.
Nobody but me, you know? But yeah, that was hard. And then that led to like a handful of things. I ended up getting like, you know, my dream job when I got out of the active army, because my goal was to, you know, after doing some cool shooter stuff and like, you know, 11B, you know, got to do it, and then got to, you know, I like to think I was a high-speed, low-drag guy from my time being in a regular garrison guy. I'm like prefacing it like this because I'm trying to be, what is thinking special forces? Just I know I'm telling you guys this. I was a regular guy, and then got to be part and lead my sniper and reconnaissance section for our unit, which was like, I thought it was a great honor, had a great time. Yeah. It's not regular garrison shit. We only showed up Monday through Wednesday, did whatever the fuck we wanted, got to go shoot sniper rifles and AT4s and go to the range and train whenever we want, got to go to whatever schools we wanted. And then I was like, okay, all that skill stuff developed, and I got hired as an executive protection agent before I even left the active army, which was like my dream job. If you guys have ever seen The Hitman's Bodyguard with Ryan Reynolds, which is so funny because he also drove an F-Type. And when I first started making my first bag of money, before I started doing social media, I bought that F-Type. I remember you hyping me up. You're like, this guy's got an F-Type. He's a car guy. And I was like, no.
I like this car.
Yeah, but that was my dream job. I still had all of that guilt though from leaving the dudes I gave a fuck about. My dream job doing executive protection was awesome because like a lot of the people hired there are all like Navy SEALs, Special Forces guys, SAS dudes. And I got lucky because I'm like 22, 23 years old at this point in time. And they're like all way older. So I felt like I got my foot in the door and I should be very happy. But I wasn't. And I was super down in the dumps. I was having a terrible time. And the money, I just realized very quickly, I was like, I don't give a fuck about this. Fuck. And even though I was making money, when you realize you're trying to live on your own, I tried to save my money. So I went straight back to living into my mom and dad's house. You know, fuck what people say. I don't give a shit. I'm just trying to do my own thing and deal with like these mental things that I'm dealing with.
Yep.
And then, yeah, I go into the reservist component. I'm still struggling with that stuff. It's not the same type of people either there, by the way. So I'm in the reservist component and I'm doing EP. I'm trying to cover getting out really quick on both senses. I don't have my original dudes. The aggression was one thing. And like, guys, aggression isn't good. Violence isn't good. But if that's your character and that's what you thrive off of, do whatever you need to get there. But understand other people don't receive that. It's not received very good at all. First time walking into the 303rd, when I was a counterintelligence agent, I see this, you know, officer standing out front and then this private's talking to him. But they're both like, you know, Army reservists. And I do what I'm supposed to do because I'm an E5, so I'm a sergeant at this point in time. I just come fucking flying across the parking lot. Haven't met a person yet. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? I was like, hey, fucking you. Hey, fucking you. Stand at the position of attention. Screaming across the parking lot. And this private's like, he looks back at me and he's like, gives me a face. And I'm like, he's fucking dead. And I just come flying across, which was a different type of ego for me. Yep. Right? Because I realized like, it's not like that everywhere. That was specifically there at my unit with my people, of people who could like, you know, kind of swallow that, learn and develop. Kind of like, you and all the guys, everyone could swallow it and be like, hey, we're good. It's all love. I don't know any of these fucking people. This fucking LT comes across, he's like, whoa. He's like, hey, man, it's all good. And then I lock up. You know, because I'm trying to set I'm trying to set example for fucking dick fuck over here who's not listening. I was like, good morning, sir. Salute him. And I was like, just trying to show, you know, I apologize for that. And I'm going to set that straight. I'm going to correct it, sir. He's like, no, it's all good. We don't do that here. We're just having a conversation and whatnot. And I was like, you know, then I swallow that. I'm like, roger that, sir. go back to my car, get my shit, get my paperwork, go in there. And I just realized that, not a knock on the Army Reserves, the dysfunctionality of the Army Reserves, which was fucking insanity to me. The lack of discipline and everything was, I still don't understand it. And one I guess one thing I could say if people aren't aware of what I'm saying is, like, for example, you have your ERB, used to have your ERB, enlisted record brief. At this point in time, the Army was going from transitions from ERBs to SRBs for all soldiers. So soldier record brief. And I have all my shit. I have some of my paperwork, and I have my official DD-214 from active duty. I have all this stuff, and I'm handing it to their S shops because that's what their fucking job is to do the fucking paperwork. It's the only thing you do. Not the only thing you do. I get you guys do other things, okay? And they're like, oh, well, we don't have your certificates. I need all of these like things on your DD-214 and your ERB so I can transition it into our unit on your SRB. And I was like, what do you mean? And they're like, okay, so like we need all of these, like, you know, we need like your AMs, like your ARCOMs, and like blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, I'd have to go find those because I like just came home and like I'm like resituating my life and like blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, well, no, that's not the case here. So your SRB is going to probably be about half of this. So they took away, they're like, oh, you just done this and you've just done that. And I look like I have a fucking boot resume. But I'm supposed to be, and like that was like a little bit of like an ego thing. Mm-hmm. But the structure of it, and I was like, this is very lazy. This is very lazy. And I just started struggling because I didn't have like my people anymore, like anywhere. So yeah, that's what I was dealing with just off of active duty, and I thought I could still find it in the reservist component. Luckily, the CI thing, guys, is really cool. Intel community is fucking awesome. Because you technically don't really answer to the Army anymore when you start like getting into some intelligence fields and stuff like that. And I got very lucky with that situation because then I was with some squared away fucking dudes, liaisoning with some cool task forces, having international and domestic powers and blah, blah, blah. Then I kind of get into like some social media stuff. That shit happens at the VA. Start to feel a little bit better. Have my purpose again. I'm going. Life's good. Meet you guys. Everything's solid. Life's growing. And then, you know, getting off of the reservist component, I hit another wall. Like I said, thank God I'm out here. I like stopped giving a fuck about content for a little while. I'm sure you guys notice it in my content for like, you know, the past like year and a half. Because I dealt with like my own sense of like mental struggles again. And guys, there's nothing wrong with it because I'm very self-aware. Like that's growth, guys. It's like a chart. Like you're going to go here, you're going to plateau, you're going to come down. Every single time I am a fool to think this and I just go, this is it. The best parts of my life are behind me. And I'm just like falling off at this point. Like it's all just, and doing like, you know, a few cool guy counterintelligence things, right? And then I start getting involved in MILDEC, which is military deception stuff. And I'm like, oh, yeah, we're getting into like TSSCI type shit and like everything. And I'm like, oh, like this is like, you know, a new dream of mine. Like I would love to do these things. My civilian job started to interfere with my reservist component job. And once again, like that's not a great support group for me either. Like all I have now is kind of like my content community. Like that's it. And what I was kind of dealing with at that time was the fact that I got kicked out because we were doing some surveillance drills. And like, if you guys know counterintelligence guys, you're not CIA spies, okay? That is not your job. Anybody who says that is fucking lying to you. Will you maybe get to liaison with the agency and do some cool shit? For sure. You're not a spy. I mean, there are some dudes at some levels who are that, but you're more so spy hunters. Your job is, you know, finding control and access, exploiting and finding foreign intelligence entities and international terrorist organizations while conducting national security investigations. Okay. Like that's your sole job. Those are big deals. in the sense of national security. And your job, like I said, you don't exactly answer to the Army anymore because you're this entity that is watching the Army for inside threats. And if you guys are aware of what like a TARP brief is, you know, your shitty fucking TARP brief that you have to sit and watch for like 2 hours on a slideshow deck and it's boring as fuck, you want to kill yourself. And you're watching people, but then you're also doing all these other things. Well, I was conducting surveillance training with like a few other dudes. We're in civilian clothes, doing the cool gray man stuff and blah, blah, blah. And I have a following at this point. At this point in time, I had like quite the following. We're talking millions at this point.
It's that hard one. It's a very difficult position to be in where you're in both worlds because you're like, fuck.
Yeah. I was the ultimate counterintelligence red flag. Why? At this point in time, I am working my executive protection, my principal, my client at the time, I'm working for the Russians. So I'm asking, and the guy is known as Putin's wallet, okay? Disgustingly rich, you know, all that crazy shit. Living vicariously through the life of a billionaire gives you a whole new sense of fucking ego. And it's like, dude, you're not this rich. Like, you make good money, but you're not like this. And I was always asking for days off, even in the reserve component. I was putting in the paperwork because I had to go fly around the world with my client and do all these things. Huge fucking red flag, but nobody picked that up other than my first sergeant at that unit. And he was like, this is weird. And then I don't know if it's the S shops, but whoever like files the paperwork, they're like, wow, he's like always gone. And then a few of the people there, maybe like 2 or 3 people at the unit knew who I was and like I was doing like all the shit. And they're like, yeah, that's so weird. Why does he like always like gone? He's never here because I want to meet the guy and see the guy. And I hear about like, you know, him only showing up like every other month, not every month. And fast forward, we're doing surveillance training and you don't always work with the same people, but the AIC, so the agent in charge of this like training cycle we're doing, is grading all of us. We're doing our stuff, trying to remain undetected, eliciting people, becoming random things and trying to get information out of them to show we got it and we can run sources in the field for real. Problem, we hit up a target, okay? Like the shopping center target, not like high value target, guys, okay? This is like in the States, we're not doing anything cool. And some dude's like, oh my God, are you Nikko Ortiz? Can I take a photo with you? Oh my God, this is so cool. And it didn't hit me right away, the oh fuck moment, until I said, yeah, sure, dude. Cause like, I'm very appreciative of that. Yeah. Like I said, that's my community at that point in time, like where I'm really like, you know, I feel like I'm doing something good. And then I turn around and like, there's a bunch of different agents out there and but the AIC, like the actual in charge, he's like, what the fuck was that? And one of the agents says, yeah, he does like social media stuff. He's like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? He's like, you're a public figure?
Yep.
And then he's like, why are we, he's like, you understand. And like, he laid into me and like, yeah, I get it. Right? Like I was the private at that point getting fucked up.
Yep.
He's like, do you not think about these things? If we're trying to put you on assignments, give you articles, if you guys know what that is, it's for anybody who wants to become a counterintelligence or join the intel community, a lot of great access, a lot of cool things. You can get your B's and C's and actually get granted federal powers. For those of you guys don't know, counterintelligence agents, you work national security investigations and crimes. You are doing cool things. You are arresting people. You are carrying a badge for a disclosed amount of time. And then when that's done, it's swiped away. Until like, you know, next set thing comes up. He's like, does any of that fucking make sense to you? He's like, you can't be like in a foreign country and we're trying to find a high value target and he's your biggest fan and sees your face and realizes the American is a counterintelligence agent. Oh, you're outing us. Like you're the actual threat. And then when he went and told my like command about that, my CSM didn't give a fuck about at the time. My first sergeant, like I said, was the only one that was aware, and some of the S-shop people. And then they were like, oh yeah, well he does like always ask for time off too. And they're like, what do you mean? People recognize this guy in public. Like he can't be doing like cool guy, silent, slick shit. But why is he getting time off? They're like, oh, he works for like Russian billionaires. And if you guys know anything about the intel community, Russia, China, Iran, fucking
Not the axis of the axis.
Top three
The
are-
axis, not the allies.
you're watching those countries all the time. And yeah, at that point in time, they're like, listen, dude, there's no way for us to like quite literally fire you. Like we could give you like Article 15s and stuff like that because we're going to now stop giving you times off, like days off. Like the CSM is not going to grant it because they don't have to grant these things, right? I give an explanation. I'm like, my civilian sector job pays amazing money, outstanding money. But that's like my career field and that's my dream job and I don't want to lose it. And like, guys, I'm sorry, but whatever people tell you, like, oh, they can't fire you. You're in the military. Like, they'll give you the time off. Bro, get the fuck out of here, bro. I'll find a different excuse and fire your ass. I'm not making money in my business because you're obligated to the military. When you get out, come back and find a job because nobody owes that to you. Like, your country, guys, your country owes you nothing, even if you did serve and you lost everything. It's a choice. I chose to go join the military. I'm very self-aware of this. But yeah, they lay into me and they're like, you can, this can affect your civilian job, whatever way. We don't give a fuck. You can start saying, fuck us, which was my original plan. Fuck you guys. I'm just not going to show up and I'll eat it. But then that's going to lead to, Article 15s. And then if need be, got as bad because this one AIC, it was like when I was a kid, I had flashbacks. I'm like, this dude's gunning for me. I was like, I'll get you can get even after, active duty, getting an honorable discharge and getting your DD-214, you can still get a dishonorable or unhonorable discharge in the reservist component. And then my first sergeant kind of helped me out. He's like, well, have you ever heard of IRR? And I was like, what the fuck is that? He's like, it's inactive ready reserve. He's like, this exists for people in weird situations. Like, let's say you're a private who just enlisted in the Army Reserves and you win the lottery for $50 billion. When you have that much money, like a target's kind of your head. So actually, you win $20 million. The military is really not going to do you any good. And you have a lot more to kind of like lose at that point. That sounds like terrible to say. I'm just trying to give you guys an idea. So IRR says we are aware, the Army does not want you to be a homeless veteran, guys. Like that's not the goal. Nobody in the DOD wants you to be a homeless vet across the board in any branch that you're in. And they are trying to assist you with this type of thing for particular situations. They're like, you're making really good money. We understand you may never find a job like that again. Because I was like, I'm the youngest dude in my career field by 10 to 15 fucking years, decades. Quite literally, I'm very fortunate to be in this position. I worked my ass off to get there. And they're like, well, you do IRR. What that means is you don't have to show up anymore. We basically just kind of end your contract. You're going to just write out your contract. You don't do anything too stupid or dumb that would hurt the military because then we can fuck you and stuff like that. But you technically don't exist. You never have to show up to drill again. And that's kind of it. And when your contract's over, we'll contact you. You'll have to turn in some gear and stuff like that. But being forced into that position really sucked balls because now the only sense of real military, right, was just a memory at this point. Mm-hmm. Guys, and for anybody who's dealing with that, you do got to swallow that pill. You got to get over it. You're not a soldier anymore, dude. You don't have to follow the warrior spirit and do things as such. You can conduct yourself like a fucking professional. I think that's going to take you so far. But
hang up that letter jacket's what I always say. It's that is a chapter. Be proud of it. Start the next one.
Move on.
Yep. Hang up your letter jacket. Don't be like, oh, I got to wear this. Look, you owe me. It is a part of your life you should be proud of. Retire it and then move on to the next act. Attack the next part of life. Yeah. With the same mindset. Crush it.
Mm-hmm. Find something else.
Yes, find that next mission.
Yeah, find new purpose. And the only purpose at my time was the content stuff. Okay, what did you want to know next? Because I know I've just been rambling and saying dumb things, but yes, I'm just trying to break it down because I don't think I've ever dove into it. This is the only place I've ever really, I think this is the only place I ever talked about the IRR story and getting basically kind of kicked out of the Army Reserves.
Yeah.
But yeah. And like
Dude, that's literally it. It was, you just tackled every question I had on this docket. We just went through it naturally and organically, which is fucking perfect.
But I bounced around a little bit, but
no, they're all used to, they watch on sub. They're used to the yeah, exactly. Chaos that unfolds. Dude, holy shit. This has been an absolute pleasure, my friend. And I am truly, truly thankful for your time.
thanks for having me, dude.
Your love. Oh, and then actually being able to catch up in God knows how long.
Yeah, dude, seriously. And everybody who does like me, you thank Eli for having me move out to Texas. It's just pretty funny.
He's going to be around more. Yeah. He's going to be around more.
Yeah. And if you guys have questions about anything, would you be down to a part 2? Because, like, you know, if you want the VIP-ness experience, I'll give it to you. You're one of the few people I know actually gives a fuck. And I don't podcast a lot. And, you know, if whatever you think is going to help the community and people get through their shit. I got, like, all that shit. That was a lot. That's nothing.
I know.
I'm sure for you, your life experience too, like, you know, like all that stuff is nothing. There's so much more to it.
Dude, it's crazy. When you try to reflect, even 2 hours is not enough to go through it. You're like, oh, that's a blip of everything.
That's like our normal conversation.
Yep. And then they're like, well, I want more. It's like, well, next time. But where do the people find you now?
You can find me at Nikko Ortiz pretty much on anything. Nikko Ortiz. And that's pretty much it.
Guys, gals, I hope. I'm so excited for this episode. Thank you guys so fucking much. We truly appreciate you. And go give Nikko some love. Fuck yeah. Oh.